The symptoms come on gradually. First one, then another, then another, then another, all seemingly unrelated. You go to doctors, visit after visit after visit. No one seems to have the answers. Your symptoms progressively get worse. Finally, you meet the doctor who put your symptoms together, but does not want to give you the diagnosis because this diagnosis is a death sentence with no cure and no way to treat most of the symptoms. You realize that you are silently fading away, and this illness will take away the quality of your life, chunk by chunk, until it ultimately sends you to your grave.
Multiple system atrophy has impacted every single aspect of my life, my family life, my recreational life, my sex life, my ability to work because of the symptoms I deal with. It's impacted everything. Even though they call it a progressive illness, the quality of life dramatically has decreased for me, and it's been hard to deal with.
This is Jeremy Boyle, a father of 6 and married to a beautiful, giving, and loving woman. He has a PhD and is a former marriage and family therapist. His life and the life of his family has been forever changed due to being grasped by the unrelenting jaws of the monster that is multiple system atrophy. Multiple system atrophy, MSA, is a rare neurological condition that causes Parkinson's-like symptoms. However, MSA patients have more widespread autonomic nerve damage than typical Parkinson's patients. Since MSA can cause widespread neurological damage, it may cause diverse symptoms throughout the body. The average age for someone to be diagnosed is around 50 to 55 years. Jeremy is one of the younger ones to receive the diagnosis at age 44.
One of the first issues that I had was temperature regulation issues. I had to buy a fan in May of 21. I also ended up having to get an ice vest, and I have to use that ice vest sometimes even indoors to eat dinner. I most definitely have to use it in the spring and summer if I'm going to be outside. I can barely handle anything over 70 degrees. So I deal with a lot of fatigue. The fatigue is probably the most disabling part of this illness. I will easily fall asleep in a chair. I can fall asleep anywhere, reading a book, watching TV, but it's not just feeling tired and wanting to sleep. It's my brain and body just don't have a lot of endurance, and it's difficult to accomplish a lot of tasks. I've already been on CPAP for a long time, so I'm hoping that now that since I already have that in place, as my vocal cords and my other parts of my throat start to kind of shut down, that I'll be able to maintain some quality of sleep and have something to keep my airway open. I also deal with REM sleep behavior disorder. My wife's been hit and kicked. I've also been severely injured. I've also woken up chewing on things that I shouldn't be chewing on, like my CPAP mask, because in my dream I think I'm eating a piece of fruit. I was trying to steal my wife's pillow one night because I thought it was a backpack in my dream. I also have a problem with even falling asleep. I'm tired all day, and then I get to the point where I'm so tired that I can't get to sleep. April or May of 22, I started dealing with a lot of tremors, and so I deal with a tremor mostly in my right arm, but if I'm really, really fatigued, that tremor kind of moves to a lot of parts of my body. I am a fall risk. Around the same time that I started developing the tremor, I also noticed that my ability to walk started to be affected. So my balance started to be affected, and I started to constantly feel like when I was walking, and even when I was sitting down or laying down, I had felt like I had just gotten off of a roller coaster. The dizziness makes walking harder. I use a wheelchair to get around because of the difficulty in walking and my instability and the disequilibrium that I experience. I used to be able to get things out really quickly, and that's one reason I had to stop practicing therapy, is because I could no longer get the words out. I could no longer find the words that I needed to explain something to someone. Sometimes I'll get food caught in my throat, and it makes it really difficult for it to go down. And sometimes I'll have to work it back up, and then try to re-swallow again. I also have to consciously focus on relaxing the muscles in my esophagus and in my mouth when I swallow, so that things don't tighten up so much, because I have overactive muscles there. I also have overactive muscles in my bladder, so there's some similarities. My blood pressure happens to be one that is all over the place. It's up, it's down. I wish that wasn't the case, because that makes me dizzy, it makes me lightheaded. It makes it difficult to, I can't move my head too quickly, or when I'm in a car, I end up feeling nauseous because of sudden movements. I find myself staring off into nothing a lot. In a period of 4 months, my vision went from a negative 3.75 for my prescription to a negative 5.50. And then another 5 months after that, they had to add prisms to my glasses, because I get double vision with my eyes. I have a condition caused by the MSA that makes it so that my eyes don't focus together. Another really annoying thing has been bowel issues and urinary issues. My digestive system doesn't work, but I deal with foul gas that smells like a sewer. Another thing that's really embarrassing is that my bladder doesn't work like it should. A lot of times I think that I've completely voided, completely urinated, and then I'll button everything up, and all of a sudden I have this wet spot on the outside of my pants, and that's always embarrassing to walk out of a bathroom having this spot of urine on your pants. I also have to use the bathroom a lot. I've been lucky that I have not started wetting the bed yet. My memory has also been affected. There was one time I had a conversation in Portuguese with a construction worker on a Friday, and it was a long conversation. He actually ate lunch with us in our kitchen. And then on Monday, he said good morning to me in Portuguese, and I looked at him and said, "Oh, you speak Portuguese?" And he said clearly in Portuguese. I sat there for a minute and I couldn't remember that happening at all. And I went up to my wife and I said, "Hey, babe, did I have a conversation with this guy at some point? How does he know I speak Portuguese?" She's like, "Well, last Friday he was in our kitchen and we had a conversation." I was baffled. As my wife talked to me more about it, I began to recall what had happened.
For now, Jeremy Boyle takes one day at a time. The specific details of his future are uncertain, but Jeremy and his family know that they must make the most of the time they have with one another. They are preparing in advance for anticipated declines and ultimately know that the quality of his life will continue to decline, and his life will end sooner than what he and his family had dreamed of. To learn more about multiple system atrophy and to join the fight in finding a cure, please visit missionmsa.org.